Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, football is officially back. The Chicago Bears officially reported for training camp as of today, and we should be excited. The energy around Halas Hall right now is very high. All the players are excited to be back. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a little update on day one of training camp. As we all know, the official first practice of Chicago Bears training camp won't be until tomorrow. So basically today was all about physicals and the conditioning test that will be conducted. Obviously, there's already been really good signs that all the players are healthy and good to go according to Ryan Poles, which is absolutely great news for the Chicago Bears. It's very rare to see everyone actually come back fully healthy, 100%. And ready to go. And that obviously includes wide receiver Darnell Mooney that has been cleared to practice, which is also great news. And as we all know, Chase Claypool was removed from the PUP list and he is also good to go. So that means Justin Fields will have his full arsenal of weapons for day one of training camp practices. So it's always really, really good news when everyone is fully healthy and ready to go. So another little update here on day one of training camp. This is about a couple of days old, but I do want to mention it here on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. The Bears did add 2 players prior to training camp. They signed linebacker Buddy Johnson and wide receiver Isaiah Ford. So just 2 players that come in and maybe compete as depth players on the defensive offensive side of the football. Maybe a little special teams action as well. But they did add those 2 guys prior to training camp. Another thing that really caught my attention about Ryan Poles' little press conference prior to day one of training camp is that he did mention the edge rusher position. Obviously, that has been something that we have been talking about a lot here on the podcast. If in fact Ryan Poles would decide to add another edge rusher, or just kind of wait it out and see what he has on this roster already. And he did mention that he would be interested in adding another edge rusher to this roster. He said this, though. He said it takes 2 to make sure it works out. So basically, it has to work out for both sides. I'm not sure what Ryan Poles is going to do if we're going to sign a guy like Yannick Ngakoue or Justin Houston, or if we're still in the market to trade for an edge rusher. Obviously, I'll try my best to be here first if the news actually breaks, if we do in fact actually sign an edge rusher to the roster. But at the moment, like I mentioned before on the podcast, either way, I'll be okay with whatever Ryan Poles decides. But it's definitely an interesting story to keep an eye on if in fact Ryan Poles will add an edge rusher during training camp practices. Another thing that really caught my attention, DJ Moore and Justin Fields also met with the media. Obviously, these 2 guys have Chicago and Chicago Bears fans buzzing. These 2 guys are going to definitely be guys that we have to keep a close eye on as they continue to build that relationship during training camp as we get closer to week 1 of the NFL season. DJ Moore had this to say about his relationship with Justin Fields. He says this: "Me and Justin have great chemistry on and off the field." And obviously, Bears fans, this is really good news. It gets me really excited to see that these guys have worked hard on their chemistry on and off the field. And you can definitely tell that that's what they have been doing. They worked out together in Florida. They obviously bond outside of football as well, just to create that chemistry on the field. So I'm really excited to see these guys work during training camp. And all eyes are going to be on them. There's a lot of expectations for Justin Fields, but there's also a lot of expectations for DJ Moore to help Justin Fields elevate his game. So a couple of other things I wanted to bring up today on this episode of Keek on the Mic. They're not training camp related, but something that I think you guys would really like to hear is that Justin Fields did make the top 100 players list of 2023, and he came in at 86, which the reason why that's significant, Bears fans, because he is ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence came in at 96, and Justin Fields came in 10 spots ahead of Trevor Lawrence at 86. Obviously, there's now a bunch of uproar on how Justin Fields is ahead of Trevor Lawrence, especially since Trevor Lawrence did lead the Jaguars to the NFL playoffs last season. But my main thing is this. My question to people that are questioning why Justin Fields is 10 spots ahead of Trevor Lawrence. If you put Trevor Lawrence in Justin Fields' shoes last season with a terrible Chicago Bears team, no offensive line, no weapons on the outside. Would Trevor Lawrence have the same impact as Justin Fields? To me, I would say no. I know that Trevor Lawrence is athletic, but he's not as athletic as Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence would have definitely struggled in Chicago to make things happen. Yes, the Chicago Bears went 3-14. Yes, the Chicago Bears lost 10 in a row, but it wasn't all on Justin Fields. Justin Fields did everything in his power to elevate that team, which for the most part, he did. For the last stretch of the season, the Chicago Bears offense averaged about 30 points a game, thanks to Justin Fields' ability as a runner. Now we all know that Justin Fields will elevate his game as a passer, and when he puts it all together, I truly feel that Justin Fields is an overall better player than Trevor Lawrence. So it doesn't surprise me whatsoever that Justin Fields was 10 spots ahead of Trevor Lawrence in the top 100 players of 2023. Another thing I want to bring up in today's episode of Geek on the Mic, once again, this is not training camp related, but I guess the quarterback series on Netflix, I'm not sure if you've seen that series on Netflix. It's a really good watch. I do recommend that you guys go check it out. I guess the series did reach out to Justin Fields for season 2 of quarterback, and Justin Fields actually turned it down. He just basically said that he doesn't want that distraction on himself. He doesn't want that distraction on his teammates. And he doesn't want all these cameras around him filming a show while he's trying to grind out for the season around Halas Hall. So you have to respect him for that. Obviously, selfishly, as Bears fans, we would love to see behind the scenes of Justin Fields, but obviously a lot of respect for Justin Fields. I'm just trying to stay focused for the season. So overall, Bears fans, this is a little update on day 1 of Bears training camp. Nothing really exciting. Just once again, conditioning tests and physicals for all the players. Once again, all the players are healthy, which is huge news going into day 1. Like I mentioned earlier in this episode, day 1 of practice will begin tomorrow for the Chicago Bears. So a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement for that. And every day, as the updates come in, I will bring you guys new latest updates on the Chicago Bears training camp practices, good or bad. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.